All right, the music of White Bat Audio. I can't tell you enough how much I love his fucking shit. Better known, well, White Bat Audio is in fact Carl Casey. Um, and if you go, if you have YouTube here, Mr. John Bengal, how are you, sir? Um, if you go here on YouTube and type in White Bat Audio, you will find his channel. Um, incredible artist out of Vancouver, BC, Canada. So cool. Adam, how are you, sir? Hope you're well. Good to see you. Hey, Ollie, how's it going? I it's not going to be a long one for me tonight. Probably maybe till about 9:30 ish. I don't know, something like that. And yeah, it's gonna be an early morning for me. I wanted to go later, but fuck, I gotta get up early today in the morning, so that kind of sucks. But I had some time, and I figured I'd come in here and say, "Hey, what's going on, folks? What's going on? What's going on?" And that, you know what? I will. I'll put this out. Let's see. We'll put this in the chat. Completely open as usual. Let's pin it to the top. And there we go. There we go. Pinned. So how's everyone doing? It's fucking snowing here again. It's never ending, man. It's fucking snowing again. I don't think we're supposed to get a lot, but let me see. Snow stops in the next 3 hours. Of course, it doesn't say. Okay, so not a lot, but it's a 0.6 centimeters. And I'm like, yeah, that's already fallen. That's already fallen. Okay, so I got communion after dark playing. Cool. Communion after dark. Mr. Wills, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Hope everything's fine. Yeah, speaking of UFO, ufology, aliens, and all that wonderful stuff. Uh, Terrible, sad news about Nick Pope. I know a lot of you in the UK, especially in the UK, know who Nick Pope is. Just coming out and going, I think, what is it, stage 4 esophagus or cancer of the esophagus, I believe it is, or something like that. Anybody who follows ufology, UAPs, all sorts, the wonderful world of UFOs, and that will know who Nick Pope is. I mean, he's definitely a mainstay when it comes to the conversation on UFOs and aliens and alien life and all that stuff. It is sad. It is. It's. I mean, he's. How old's he? I mean, he can't be that old. Nick Pope. Let's see. Nick Pope. He's only 4 years older than I am. Damn. Wow. That is really, really sad. Really sad. That's really too bad. I thought I knew he wasn't that old. Wow, it's. I'll say one thing, man. This year has been fucked so far. It's just been absolutely crazy, horrendous. Me with my health, taking a little bit of a spiral, and it's continuing right now. It's just fucking insane. And just 2026 has not had a good start. Hopefully it gets better and ends on a high note. Jesus, Murphy, this is just ridiculous. And then, the people that are, passing away, like, Catherine O'Hara, um, what's his name? Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek. I mean, the guy was only 48. 48, man. 48 years old. Colon cancer, I guess, whatever. And it's just the news. It's just, I don't know. 2026 has not been a fucking happy year so far. So whoever said fucking happy new year to 2026, fuck you. It just absolutely sucks so far. Sucks. And not to mention fucking snow. Can't get rid of the snow. The snow. But you know what? I've been going through, I've had some time to go through some old footage, um, and trying to edit as best as possible. I'm talking about footage from the early 2000s. And just going over some of the fucking whacked out investigations that I was a part of, that I was on, and the claims that people make, and it's just, and not just the claims that you have to deal with, but I mean the the shit that happens, like the weird stuff. I mean, that is ultimately the intriguing part, the intriguing part of the story that I can tell is the interesting, not just personal experiences, but experiences that multiple people had. Um, you want snow there, John? You can have ours. This year has been fucking. I think we've had over 100 centimeters of snow. Over, at least over 100 centimeters, and that's estimating, because I mean, the last major snowfall we had 65 centimeters alone. We got pelted, and quite literally, everything came to a standstill. It was just insane. I remember years ago when Mel Lastman was the mayor of Toronto, and he had to actually call in the fucking army to help him dig him out, and it's just hilarious. you know, Thankfully, none of that had to happen this time, but man, it is. I'm surprised. This was probably worse than that. Hey Ryan, how are you? This was probably worse than that storm that they had the army come in and help them dig him out. Like I said, 60 centimeters. Hold on. 65 centimeters in. Well, let's see. Yeah, about 2.2 feet. 2 feet, just over 2 feet of snow, and when falling. Uh, it's starting to warm up there. Where's there? What's warming there, Adam? What kind of temps are we talking about? Um, yeah, it's just insane. But anyways, uh, going on to some of the crazy stories that I don't think I've ever told. I don't think I've ever told on a live stream, anyways. And I do remember writing because a lot of this is a part of the book I'm working on, but I don't mind sharing certain stories that aren't in the book. Um, and I used to do this. It was called the zombie stream on Instagram back. Oh, pretty much when it first started up. And the zombie stream was basically a story, episodes of stories, based on the experiences that I had in certain places, investigations, and so on and so on. And I said, well, you know what? I said, well, maybe I'll just write a whole book, and that's what I've been doing. Everyone would be crying, yeah. Um, I remember this one particular home investigation that we did, and the house backed up, like the backyard backed up to an old cemetery. And of course, people automatically go, "Oh my god, are you crazy? Why would you buy a house that backed onto a cemetery?" You know, I don't see what the problem is. I mean, seriously, it's just peaceful. It'd be peaceful, just really peaceful. I mean, yeah, you do get the odd vandals in cemeteries, but not very often. It's not like the old days when you used to have grave robbers. I mean, you still have grave robbers. I mean, just the last year, there was a couple who were charged multiple charges for grave robbing. Several fucking cemeteries. Desecration. Digging up coffins and taking the jewelry from the corpses. And so on and so on. And that's just the beginning of it. I mean, these people had no morals. They were looking for a quick buck, and hey, and and in the end, was it really worth it? Now you have to spend X amount of time behind bars. I mean, grave robbing, just. But anyways, I'm wandering off the story, the topic, and so anyways, this house, um, they wanted us to come in and investigate, some really weird, um, happenings in their home. And I think most of it divvied up into the fact that they lived so close to a cemetery, so they thought, you know, shit that was happening in the house was, a direct result of the people buried in the cemetery. And of course, I always have my doubts with that. I'm very skeptical about that, but you never know, right? You never know. But I remember being in the basement and doing an EVP session, and I had a full spectrum camera rolling in the basement just to capture anything that might happen if anything did happen. And it was myself and one of the other guys. We were sitting down there, and low light. We low light just for the camera. I just wanted to make sure that it was low light. And we're sitting there and we're talking, like trying to spark up conversation with whoever or whatever might be there. And then all of a sudden you hear this like it was like an implosion of air. And all of a sudden you see this shadow just move along the wall like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, maybe there's a insect or something, but this thing was like full and moving like very not rapidly, but fast enough where it lasted just a few seconds. And I thought, okay, maybe that's just the figment of my imagination. I'm overactive. I'm tired. It doesn't make sense. It's got to be a bug hitting the light. Going whatever. So I go to the other guy that was with me, and I said, "Hey, dude, what the fuck?" He goes, "I only saw it out of my peripheral, so I didn't really get a good view, a good look at." I go, "You did see something, though, right?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just figured it might have been you moving in front of the camera or in front of the light." Like, no, no, man, no. And did you hear that noise? That like kind of like an implosion of air. He's like, I did hear something, but I can't really make it out. So I immediately went to the full spectrum camera. I shut it off, rewound because it had mini DV tape, and I played it back. And sure as shit, you see this shadow just moving slow enough so you can catch it real time. I, it just because multiple things happened. It made me really wonder. Okay, like maybe it is something. I don't know, but let's try to I have to figure this out. I mean, obviously, I'm high alert. My senses are fucking tingling because of the fucking shit going on. Okay, what the fuck is going on? So okay, let's try to recreate this. Turn the light on. Go back into position. Turn the light on. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk um, by the light and see if it's generally the same sort of shadowing. And of course, when I'm walking by the light, you see the distinct human figure, my figure. Well, the shadow that I had seen pass didn't have a distinct feature. It just like a blending shadow. It like kind of merged with the light. It kind of weird. I see. I don't know if it was a shadow figure, Michael. I don't want to pass it off as a shadow figure because I didn't see any defining shape. I didn't see a defining figure, human shape, or anything like that. So uh, I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's something wrong with the light. Maybe the light is kind of glitching or something like that. I don't know. It was just fucked up, really fucked up. And it just after trying to recreate it, we couldn't recreate it. So we went to the audio, and you remember I said that sort of implosion of like wind or air. And at that point in the audio, you hear that you kind of hear the air, you know, excuse me. And as you hear the air go like that, you hear a voice. And the voice was so fucking clear and so eerie. And the voice simply said, "Here." So it was like you hear that, "Here," and then that's it. And I'm like, this happened just before the shadow had moved across the wall, the basement wall, like it did. And again, you don't see a defining figure. You just see this like section of shadow just go like that. Not stopping, it just kept going. And it was just so fucking eerie. And I mean, how do you explain that? I mean, you can. I don't care. Debunk it, whatever. I don't give a shit. Do what you will. I don't care, and I've always been that way. But I tried everything humanly possible to try to explain that shadow, and just could not fucking do it. You know, it's a weird thing. Um, I'll have to dig out the. I'll have to dig out the audio for it and the video. I've got it in the archives, but man, I've got literally like hundreds and thousands of fucking tapes. Oh man. But for the most part, nothing ever happened in that house. The claims that they had made, pretty much were discounted and explained and explained to the owners what was going on. A lot of the sounds that they were hearing and so on and so on were very explainable. You know, but yeah, that was what 2006, I think that happened, something like that. 2006. The house was built in the 40s, I believe, the 1940s. It was a war home. But the cemetery was original, I think, 1850s, I believe. Probably in and around the 1850s. Kind of when the town was incorporated, in and around that time. And that plot of land was on the outskirts of the small little town at the time, up until the 30s and 40s, when they started expand the town and build around the cemetery. Right. It's a fairly large cemetery for a small town. fairly large cemetery. I mean, most cemeteries, well, most of them are small, not that big. They take up quite a lot of well, huge parcel of land. So it was indeed mad. It was crazy. It's just insane. Things things that happen that you'd like to explain but you can't. It's just insane. Neil, how are you, sir? Yeah, well, it does. I think you need to have an open mind, but I mean, obviously, you have to ask all the questions. You have to be skeptical, and you have to you know tr- try your damnedest to explain before you just fly off the handle and say, "Oh yeah, I got some paranormal experience I want to share with you." Notice I didn't call it a paranormal experience. It was an unusual experience, highly unusual. I hate calling things. I hate saying evidence of the paranormal. I hate saying, you know, I had a paranormal experience or experience with the paranormal because I don't really know. I don't know. I All I know is through experience. It was highly unusual and one of those moments that just defies logic. Just defies logic. And yeah, there's a lot of that. Um, people. Matt and I were talking the other morning about this kind of shift or dimensional shifts, and how maybe perhaps that we at times collide or sort of somehow uh connect with another dimension, maybe a glitch or whatever. And people have these experiences that they can't explain, and quite possibly that could be one of the answers, a dimensional shift perhaps. Or again, we have to understand that not all life forms are carbon based, at least you know to our knowledge. I mean, what's the possibility of I, again, we won't know. We don't know any of this until we actually our time comes and we you know on to the next phase of whatever it may be. you know um and we talked about the one of the things that fascinates me is the stages of the Tibetan monk, and how they prepare with during their physical life to prepare to transition into enlightenment. And the only way they're able to reach enlightenment um, after death is to fully let go of the physical aspects of life, as physical, money, pain, you name it. All things physical gone out the door. Because if you're not able to let that go, the monks believe then you're reincarnated and you have to try again, right? And you keep trying until you are able to let go of the physical aspects of life. And then you are able to travel or reach full enlightenment, whatever that may be. So, I mean, how many of us are ready to let go of everything physical? I mean, we have to leave everything physical, but the thing is, are we is our spirit able to? I don't know how it works, but are I don't think any of us are ready to let, go of the physical sort of aspects, because for the most part, I mean, when you're on your bed, hey Sage, how are you? When you're on your bed, you're dying days, if you will, your last moments, and I don't want to say your last moments, but say, you're mentally preparing for, when that day comes because you know it's coming soon, as they've told you or whatever. But those moments are, the wording, the phrase, at peace with myself. Are you ready to let go of everything? Because you can't bring it with you, but you have to let go, right? Un- Unfortunately, you have to let go. Pain, love, everything, everything that is physical, you have to let go. And if you're not able to let go of that, then you're reincarnated and you have to do it all over again. And if you ask me, that's kind of purgatory. You know, you're stuck in this endless loop until you figure it out. You know, it's like an expanded Groundhog Day. You relive it every day, every day. But this is, you don't necessarily relive, but you have to go through everything again just to try to figure out how to reach enlightenment, to to go to enlightenment. If you know, you know. Yeah. I mean, people do. People, are able to, I guess, become at peace with themselves, and aren't afraid. Like, again, not afraid of death. You have to lose that fear. You know, you have to lose that fear. And many of us, from when we were, you know, before we invented, fire, if you will. uh we feared the unknown, we feared what was lurking in the dark, we fear it. And then when we invented light, that kind of gave us that safety net, if you will, because we have an extended view into the darkness. And the thought was that nothing would harm you within the light. You're safe. You felt safe within the light. That wasn't always true, obviously, but that's what we thought early on. That oh my God, we have safety now. We have safety. We have light. We can see into the darkness further. Uh, yeah, I think you that was one of the stories we talked about, Michael, wasn't it? Your encounter. Yeah. a sec here. I remember it's a very deep concept as if part. Yeah, exactly. For some people, anyway. Yeah, I remember one time uh, there was a place that we would investigate for many years. It was an old woolen mill. It was called the German Mill, and it laid on the banks. What was left of it? It was a woolen grist mill, and then it turned into a hotel, kind of a bed and breakfast hotel sort of thing. And the story was that when it was the woolen mill, the daughter of the owner of this woolen mill was playing along the river that led up to the water wheel to this woolen mill, grist mill, if you will. And somehow her hair had got caught and dragged her under, and she drowned in the water underneath because she was pinned underneath the wheel. And by the time anyone was able to help her, she was dead. Years later, when it became a hotel, uh, there was a there was a shooting in one of the rooms, the upstairs room. A man had been mysteriously killed, shot to death, and of course, the case was never solved. They never found the person who killed the man. Zip to present day. It is now a shell of itself, the woolen mill. And we would go there very quiet at night along the banks of the Grand River, this very, very long river. And I remember, a full moonlight. It was a full moon that night because it was really bright. And it was I think it was probably November, late November, and it was cold. And we're just doing our thing, audio, you name it, documenting everything. And all of a sudden, you can hear in the direct distance, almost like it was on the water, native drums beating. And they went on for quite a while. And there's no reserve close by, at least close enough where it would be that loud. Again, you can discount it, of course, but it was just very eerie. The drumming, it was just as if it was on the water, as if there was a boat on the river, and it was coming from that boat. New book, yeah. Burrito Demon, yeah. The Great Burrito Demon. Did you guys see the latest one? Uh, Poor Alex. Let's see. Hold on a second. Poor Alex. Like Stone Tape. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was exactly like that, John. Here's the latest. Big fat burrito ate. Hold on. For some reason, it didn't want to play. Hold on. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Surrounding areas taking impact. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Soaking in the energy. Much like a lot of places that are supposedly haunted. They have their, absorbing the energy of kind of residual frequency, if you will, residual energy. We've mentioned this a million times, where perhaps um, a mother gets up at 5 o'clock every morning and goes down to the kitchen, opens a certain cupboard every morning, and she has that routine that plays out every morning. It's like a ritual, and the imprint is burned into the energy of the house, the location. Even if the house is gone, it still plays out because it's beyond the physicality of the house, but the house absorbs that energy. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's very possible. It's happened many times, you know? Oh, it's not always the same. Obviously, it's different, it changes, but I mean, it's kind of most likely the same scenario, residual, like a broken record. And it plays over and over and over and over. Sometimes different periods of the day, night, whatever. However, and you may catch it, you know, for the first time at a certain time that it happens, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You know, that's what I mean when you investigate a location. Yeah, yeah, it's best to be there more than one time. I mean, multiple investigations start to unlock more and more about what you're dealing with. One investigation just doesn't do justice. You can't determine if a place has a possible haunting based on one visitation. You can't. It's like impossible. All right, John, take care, eh? Have a good one. Good to see you. I'm not going to go too much longer anyways, probably another half an hour maybe. That's about it. He said it's going to be an early morning for me. I mean, what is it there? 2 o'clock? Just after 2 o'clock a.m. in the UK right now. So yeah. But yeah, that was quite possibly that's what those drum beats might have been, might have been, residual to the area. And we just happened to be there at the right time to hear those drums beating. And we did manage to capture it on audio as well, like actually video. I believe we captured it on. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know if it's in the. Probably get dung for audio, but who cares? Let's see here. Wow. I don't know why that's not the full version. Damn. It's a good thing I still have. Hold on. Where did I? Let me see if it's on the other channel. It may not be on the other channel, but let me just see. For some reason, I don't know why it's not the full version. To give you a look at this place. Teaser trailer. Oh my god, I don't get the full version on here. Wow, I think I totally lost it. That sucks. Oh well, so much for that. I'll have to dig it out of the archives. I'll have to dig them out of the archives. Yeah, you're really cool. Okay. Let's see here. What are the trailers, anyways? Hold on. What are the trailers? These are bad trailers, man. These are old too. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible. I'm not going to play that. It's horrible. Let's see. I'll play this one. Why not? There's the interior of the wall. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, yeah. For the most part, I think. Yeah, John. How are you, by the way? Good to see you. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, especially personal experiences, but I think there are um elements um well, most likely personal experiences would be subjective, obviously. That's not to say that I was just open. Just talking about whatever. I was just kind of diving into some of the old investigations that I kind of we carried out years ago, and I was just going over some stories that kind of happened. Some of the more intriguing stories. That's all. Open, really. I mean, whatever you guys wanted to talk about, I was open with whatever. But I'm probably only going to go for maybe another 15 minutes, if that. I think. I think I got to call it. Going to be an early night tonight. I would like to go longer, but it's going to be an early morning for me. Let's see here. Let's see. Where is it? What's the hell? What the hell is this? Uh, hold on. What the hell is this? Some of the worst things. Do you ever conduct an investigation with a psychic? Yeah, I have. I've had many that I've worked with, and I'm not crazy about them, to be honest. I think there's one that I do like working with. She's very very intuitive. I think she does an amazing job. Um, like I said, I'm very skeptical with psychic mediums. But for some reason, um, the one that I'm referring to, she is uh, very very intuitive. Just she's blown me away, and it takes a lot to blow me away. That's for sure. When it comes to that kind of stuff. Looking at old photos yesterday, can't believe 5 years ago. Thoughts go back 40 years ago. Yeah, it's funny, eh? It's amazing, you know. Like what the hell? Photos are certainly have that effect on you. Let's see here. I thought I had the full version, but I guess I don't. 'Cause I wanted to show you the extent of interior of the German mill, and I don't. Unfortunately, on this computer, I don't have all the old stuff on it. I gotta dig it out. What's this here? Where the hell did it go? What's this here? That's not it. I thought I had the full version. I guess I don't. Video. No, not there. Diving in. No, that's not it. That's not it. No, this is newer. I guess I don't. I thought I had it. Oh well. Sucks. I wanted to show it. No, and I don't have it. Oh well. That sucks. Oh well. I'm gonna call it. Alex and myself are here Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the next episode of Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Join us, please. If you can, join us. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Yeah, so we'll see you this Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. in the UK. Until then, take care, everyone. Good night.